we have some juicy theories that are going to make us question everything. Thank you, Mr. Jones, for the videos.
Asked this man, Bill Clinton, why did Epstein say you like him young? This man couldn't even get his words out. He was like, first of all, and then he stopped. He was like, first of all, I don't like underage girls. She said, I didn't say underage.
Oh.
Is that Epstein said, you quote, like them young. Why would Epstein say that about you? Why would Epstein say that about you?
She's asking you to try to be in Mr. Epstein's mind and guess at what Mr. Epstein would have thought about.
Clinton likes them young, referring to girls.
First of all, that's not true.
What's not true?
That I have any interest in underage.
I didn't say underage, I said young.
But it's still not true.
Is an intern young?
He said that last part quick once he noticed. He said underage girls, and she said not underage. He said, and that's still not true. Then that boy started shaking like a stripper, fool. He was trying to drink his little tea, coffee, or whatever he had in that little mug, and his hands was like, maybe he got Parkinson's, or maybe he lying.
They got him. They got him. They got my boy. They got my boy, and you know what I'm talking about. You know what? This is not him, bruh. This is not him. I know I don't believe in conspiracy theories, you guys. And I just see in the conspiracy theory of Selena Gomez and that's not her, blah, blah, blah. But this man right here, I know him. I seen all his movies, all his stand-up comedies, bruh. And this does not look like Jim Carrey, bro. You know this man's been in the background because he doesn't want to talk about all that that's going on. I know for a fact he knew a lot of that was going on in Hollywood, and he has said it in some of these interviews. So what I'm thinking is that they got him. They cloned his. They wanted to shut him up, so this is what they did to him. And look how I know he didn't do nothing to his face, bro, because that's not how he looks. So I know they did something to him. Look at him, bro. That's not Jim Carrey, you guys. This is somebody else.
Somebody mentioned that Jim Carrey never liked fashion, never was pro Botox and fillers. He's never liked inauthenticity. For this to happen shows me that they got him. What y'all think? Because there's also another conspiracy saying that it was a makeup artist that dressed up to look like him to prove a point about makeup. What is given is that this is not Jim Carrey, is what I'm trying to say.
The reason why Satan wanted the throne was because he thought he deserved it. How could you ask for the throne? Because you think you're good enough for it. And it's the good people that crucified. If you look at it, it wasn't the woman caught in the act of adultery. It wasn't people who slept with people and boiled babies and whatever. No, it was literally the Pharisees. It's always the good people that end up going against the most, because God wants the unrighteous. He wants the lost. Good people are not lost. They're level-headed. They're logical. They're big brain. They're found. They have direction. They have discipline. With all of these things that they're supposed to rely on for, now they have it all of a sudden like Satan did, and they're thinking, why do I need to rely on him? And that's exactly how their hearts are. Satan was number 2 in heaven. He was made out of bagpipes. He was beautiful. He was wise. Bro had music. Everyone loved him and almost worshipped him in a way. His heart wasn't that he was too evil. His heart was that I'm so good, how come I don't deserve the throne? And this is exactly what causes people to err. Good people judge because they're like, you're not like me and I don't do that, so you're bad. Evil, wicked people can't judge others. They know I messed up. It's important to be able to have free will and have free choice and actually come to the position of a sinner, because then you have nothing to boast about and then God becomes everything for you. And that's ultimately what God wants. Again, the primary goal of is forming dependence in you. That's it.
Strange behavior of a woman during a press conference in the Oval Office of the White House has gone viral on social media, with many asking, who is she?
In the world?
It's Susan Dell, the wife of billionaire and Dell CEO Michael Dell. The couple recently donated more than $6 billion to fund American children.
Children donation? Mm-mm. She looked possessed. Reptilian. Thank you, DeAndre, for the video.
Nobody got saved in Jesus' name in the first, second, third, all the way up into the 14th century. It's like, how did you get so bound to a name that he didn't even know? There was no Jesus in the first century. No disciple mentioned the name Jesus. Nobody got saved. Nobody got delivered. Nobody got healed in Jesus' name. That's common sense. But you know, things get lost in translation, and so do people.
That man's not wrong. There is no letter J in the Hebrew language. So his name can't be the J word that they're saying. That is why you guys hear me say Yahuwah and Yahusha, because that is his true name. Even back here, you see it. That's why I call on Yahuwah and Yahusha HaMashiach, because those are the true names that they try to blot out and not make us call those names, because they know how much power it is behind those names when you call upon those names. Thank you, Des, for the videos.
New World Order, Mr. Rothschild.
Right?
New World Order. Depopulation.
Oh, listen, who are you?
Genocide.
Who are you televising?
I remember this.
Well, we're independent
Yeah.
filmmakers.
He said, yep.
But you have nothing to say, Mr. Rothschild.
Have a nice life, sir.
Now, if you see a picture of Bill Gates and company, meaning more than one person in this picture, you would likely think to yourself that surely Bill Gates is the worst individual in that picture.
I would think so.
Well, I got news for y'all. See that guy right there? That's Bill's dad, the original Kill Gates.
Oh,
you see, this man right
Kill
here
Gates.
is one of the founding fathers of America's largest genocide. Oh, wait, sorry. Pregnancy centers, Planned Parenthood. As a matter of fact, this man right here is the one who established this young man's ideology as far as, well, overpopulation.
That's crazy.
Because this man was what they call a eugenicist, which means he believed in the practice of eliminating as many human beings as possible and only keeping a select few in order to, quote unquote, save the planet.
Why are they worried about that, though? They are not Yahuwah and Yahusha HaMashiach. Why? This is why I get irritated. Who do they think that they are to do that? Bill Gates still irritates me with that lesson that he did on, what was it, the TED Talk, where he was talking about the population increasing with him implementing the jabs, that they can decrease that number, and he comes from someone even more wicked. They running their bloodline. I don't even want to see what's going to come out of him. Again, it reminds me of the Bible scripture of how the evil can't sleep unless they continue to think of more wicked. Like, the scriptures is living.
Kanye West has said a lot of crazy things. I think we can all agree on that. But one of the things he said that may have been right is the situation with his children. Now, this picture is going viral of Northwest, his daughter, and Northwest's mother, Kim Kardashian. But this picture is going viral. Why? Because Northwest is 12 years old. And yes, I had to double check the age too. It is 12 years old, and you can only imagine the type of backlash and controversy happened all over the internet after that picture was uploaded. Now, this is what Kanye said. I don't want to just see my kids. I want to raise them. I need to have a say of where they go to school, who their friends are, and who houses they sleep in. My daughters wear lipstick and perfume. All of these rights have been taken from me by the Kardashian mob, Hulu and Disney, and the bigger agenda to use the selectivity bred black children to be platformed to influence other black people. Of course, he went on a rant, but he's basically saying his child was taken from him by the Kardashians, Hulu, and Disney, and it's all for a bigger agenda.
Be careful with who you have children with, because that's something that you cannot reverse.
2 days before he killed himself, allegedly, committed suicide. You know what he did 2 days before he killed himself?
No clue.
Epstein's estate transferred $577 million into a trust he created 2 days before his death, and it was called the 1953 Trust. Why 1953? That's the year he was born. A little weird. 2 days before, kind of weird. Either you are like fully prepared, or it's a little weird. Remember how earlier we were talking about Bill Barr connection with the dad and all this other kind of little weird, you know, Bill Barr, New York Times called him the ultimate cover-up general. New York Times called him that in 1992. when they were going through a complete different thing. Imagine Bill Barr's being called the cover-up general 33 years ago by New York Times.
Right.
Damn.
Right.
That kind of a reputation for this long. Bill Barr's role as Attorney General during Epstein is extremely significant. Why? Because some are calling this the ultimate potential intelligence cover-up. His background, past behavior in the context of Epstein's death led to many describing Barr as a CIA fixer or the guardian of the deep state.
The most shocking prenup I've ever seen, which was enforceable, had a provision that said that for every 10 pounds the wife gained in the marriage, she would lose $10,000 a month in alimony. But he was very concerned that she was going to become less attractive and he was going to become more wealthy. So his solution to this was in the prenuptial agreement. He wanted a clause that said if they divorced, she was going to get like $70,000 a month for alimony. But for every 10 pounds she gained from the date of marriage, she would forfeit $10,000 a month worth of alimony. And it was so designed to sort of create an incentive that she would remain thin. And that was enforceable, meaning they tried to challenge and set aside that provision. And the court said, this is a disgusting provision. I don't know why you married this person, but it's enforceable. It's a contract. The two of you signed it, and you had a right to sign it, and you agreed to these rules, and they may be ridiculous rules, but you agreed to them, and you have a right to do that. I think it's a kind of love.
If there's a thought process on prenups, that means you're manifesting for a divorce to happen. You're already thinking we're not going to last. You're not thinking this is forever. You're thinking that this is going to last for a couple of years. That is a horrible mindset. That is why Yahuwah loves covenants over contracts, because you can't break covenant.
What's the creepiest glitch in the Matrix you've experienced? My friend Sarah was in a nightclub drunk off her face when she got an overwhelming urge to tell a total stranger that her leg hurts. Edit, it didn't hurt at the time. She just had an urge to say it. It's all a bit strange. She ignored it, but it doesn't stop. So she walks up to this guy and says, I know this is crazy, but I've got a huge urge to tell you that my leg hurts. I know that's crazy again, sorry. He bursts into tears. Turns out his dad had just died and they made a pact before that if there was an afterlife, he would get a message to him saying a totally random phrase so there could be no mistakes, which they decided on the phrase was, I've hurt my leg.
What the heck?
I love that sort of shit.
Thank you, Peep, for the videos.
So y'all, this is absolutely crazy. So y'all, why this 18-year-old girl went on an interview in Detroit at Cracker Barrel. So after the interview, she calls her mother and tell her mother now she don't think the interview went too good. And she said that the man that was interviewing was asking her some weird questions. He asked her if she was an organ donor, and he asked her about the. So she was like, after she told her mother she was going to use the bathroom and get back on the road because she had to travel like 33 miles, I think it was. So she went in the bathroom and never came back out. So the police, they looked at the video, you know, the footage, and said that she went in the bathroom and never came back out. So they've been looking for her. So they end up stopping a meat truck in Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Police Department. They done stopped this truck. So the man was like, he was a 50-year-old man. He said he was just delivering the meat to a meat packing plant that supplies for McDonald's. So the police, because he had a busted tail light, that was the reason they pulled him over. So they done opened the meat truck up and then found the girl. She is alive, but she was disoriented. She said all she remember is that she went in the bathroom to wash her hands and everything went dark. So the man is like, he didn't know that she was back there. All he was doing is just delivering the meat to the meat packing plant. You know what I'm saying? Because they get the meat together for McDonald's. But why would they be asking her about if she's an organ donor? Right. And then who just like, you know what's going on? We all know what's going on, y'all. Stay safe.
Here's a black guy saying it since he won't listen to me.
Oh, this Israel is not the one we're talking about.
The Israel in the Middle East, the state of Israel is not Bible Israel.
Okay.
The state of Israel was a political and economic orchestration in 1948. That's not Bible Israel.
Oh, yo.
In the Bible, Israel is a person.
Jacob.
He wrestled with. Towards morning, his thigh was broken. God told him, from now your name will no more be called Jacob, but Israel. You have prevailed with God. Then the children of Jacob now formed the 12 tribes of Israel. But because they did not obey, and follow God, their enemies scattered them all over the earth.
Right.
So that Israel was gone. Oh. And in 1948, there was a political arrangement by the Rothschild.
Of course.
If you know the Rothschild.
Yes.
The Rothschild actually created the state of Israel.
Would you look at that?
Wow. So the Israel you have today in the Middle East is not the Israel in the Bible.
So where is the Israel of the Bible?
It's no more.
Scattered.
It's no more.
If Mr. Black and Mr. White live next door to each other, they have the same job, the same income, the same car, the same furniture. Yeah. They both walk out of the house in the morning. Good morning, Mr. Black. Good morning, Mr. White. But Mr. White is still looking, but you've got something that I don't have.
You're saying he's saying that
He's
subconsciously.
saying, right.
Now, wait a minute. All right, we'll give you a chance in just a moment.
In reality, white skin is a genetic recessive status, not as said by Francis Welsing. Even though the white population says that people of color are minorities, you're genetically inferior because you are non-white. That it is the white population that is the minority. The minority on the planet.
That's the reality.
That's the reality.
This is where we'll be less than 10% in the year 2075. Here's where we are about today, 15. So we're not having babies.
So whites are not having babies, and there is the concern about white genetic annihilation. In other words, I look at, this is Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday holiday, and people will say, well, here's a man who talked about love. Why was he killed? And I say that the deeper logic is, what if all black and white people and non-white people and white people love? What would happen to white people? White would disappear. You see, just mix all of the people on the planet up
In other words,
together.
if race didn't matter, or if color didn't matter, it follows with the jet plane.
No, I'm not saying if it didn't matter. I'm saying that indeed if there was a mingling, if we mixed all of the people presently on the planet, stirred them up,
The white freckle-faced people would be gone.
Genetic recessive status would disappear because we have the greatest genetic potential to cause white genetic annihilation.
Because you're the blackest.
Because we, right.
The most color.
Right, we have this ability to produce melanin pigment. We have more of it than anybody else. And so the most pressure is on black people.
Thank you, Jay, for the video.
China is literally hunting for a second Earth. And this might be the most insane space mission of our generation. By 2028, China plans to launch a satellite called Earth 2.0. And it's exactly what it sounds like. This isn't some casual telescope pointed at the sky. This is a dedicated 4-year exoplanet survey mission. The goal is to find Earth-sized planets orbiting sun-like stars, specifically inside habitable zones where life could exist. The satellite uses a 7-telescope array designed to detect the tiniest wobbles in distant stars. Those wobbles reveal hidden planets. It's like feeling a tug on a fishing line from light years away. Scientists are also hunting for biosignatures, chemical traces in alien atmospheres that could mean life is actually out there. This is part of China's 15th 5-year plan, with 4 major scientific satellites launching between 2026 and 2030. If successful, Earth 2.0 could finally answer the question humanity has asked since the beginning of time. Are we alone? China might be the country that finally finds out. If aliens pick up the phone, don't be shocked if Beijing answers first.
Thank you, Titan Slayer, for the next couple of videos.
Israel controls the U.S. My guy, Israel is the U.S. The state of Israel is a tiny little America smack dead center in the Middle East. Before AIPAC and other Zionist organizations were founded in the 1950s and became part of what we now know as the pro-Israel lobby, America supported Israel almost immediately after it declared independence in 1948. This was also the beginning of the Cold War, and America understood that it would benefit from having an anti-Soviet ally in the region. Now, some of you may be thinking to ourselves, if Israel doesn't control the U.S., why do we give them so much money even if it doesn't benefit people like us? And the answer to that question is that even though it is not good for the average individual like you and I, it is good for individuals at the top because it serves their business interests. In other words, the $3.8 billion that we give to the Israelis annually is good for U.S. defense contractors and sustains U.S. defense jobs. And this is extremely important to understand because countries do not support other countries whether they're nice or not. Countries will support other countries out of self-interest. whether that's political, social, or economic self-interest. Don't just take my word for it. Take the word of then-Senator Joe Biden from 40 years ago in 1986, explaining just why America supports Israel.
I think it's about time we stop, those of us who support, as most of us do, Israel in this body, for apologizing for our support for Israel. There's no apology to be made. None. It is the best $3 billion investment we make. Were there not an Israel, the United States of America would have to invent an Israel to protect her interest in the region.
I'm going to tell you why everyone you pass on the street looks like a zombie. Look around. Dead eyes, blank faces, people moving through life on autopilot like they're being controlled by something they can't see. That's not depression, that's programming. For most of human history, people had purpose, community, connection to something real. Then the system realized they could make more money if they turned you into a sleepwalker. So they built a world that numbs you, endless distractions, screens everywhere, noise that never stops. They keep you so overstimulated that you never stop and think. You just consume, work, repeat, like a puppet on strings you can't see. And here's what they don't want you to realize. The moment you stop moving, the moment you get quiet, the moment you actually look at your life, the spell breaks. That's why they keep you busy. That's why they keep you distracted. That's why silence terrifies them. A person who stops and thinks is a person who starts to wake up. And anybody who understands control knows an awakened population can't be governed. You're not tired, you're sedated. The moment you realize that, everything changes. We may not see each other again, so make sure to follow this page.
Why we're paying iCloud, Apple Music to not even own our music? They can literally cut your iCloud off right now, and all those months that you pay, all that shit, fuel, they can literally remove Apple Music off right now. All that music, all that money that you pay every month, you're paying for the same song 20 times over and over. You're never done paying, and you don't even own it. Netflix, you don't own no movie. Amazon closed her account. All that money she spent on books, gone. If your books are digital, right, they're altering the text in the books.
Man.
So they can alter the cover, alter the text in the book at any time. They can alter the movie at any time.
I'm laughing because what I'm about to say. I don't pay for any subscription service type stuff at all. Whether that's Apple Music, Netflix, Hulu, I can go down the list. Y'all get the point. And the reason why is because of that. If you're paying a subscription, you can lose everything that you are paying for if you stop paying. So then is it really yours? It just makes you think. Y'all remember LimeWire? I'm gonna say this. I still move like LimeWire is a thing to this day. If y'all catching what I'm saying. The Proud Family did an episode on it. I'd had to get the name and the season and the episode of it, but it was when that guy had introduced her to basically LimeWire and she was downloading all this stuff. That Apple Music stuff lost me with that because I have seen people miss a payment and they whole playlist and all the stuff that they have in the Apple Music is gone. My sister's a witness. I seen it with her. So you're literally, like the person said, you're paying for the same stuff over and over. And then Black Mirror really wants you guys to watch that Black Mirror episode where it shows you how BS subscriptions are because you're paying and it's never enough. Now Netflix, I think Netflix, I forgot what the price was, but I know Netflix was low. Now they're taxing. And then on top of that, people are paying and now you're dealing with ads now. And then it's to a point now where they want you to pay even more. So certain stuff is locked, like certain movies are locked because they want you to pay for another subscription service to get that stuff unlocked. Subscription services are a scam. Point blank, period. And it goes back to the quote that we have heard multiple times on this channel. You will own nothing and be happy.
Bread is bad for you.
Stop eating eggs. Stop eating strawberries. Broccoli.
Stop drinking
This is how y'all
water.
feel watching my conspiracy
Stop
reactions.
drinking bottled water.
Bread is bad for you.
Stop eating eggs.
Almost 87 to 90 million
devices are about to lose support from Netflix. March 2nd, Netflix will no longer work on a PS3, will no longer work on a TV that's 10 years old.
Been working this
So
whole
if y'all
time
got
now.
y'all grandmas, your nephews that still be watching Netflix through PS3, your uncles, aunties, all of them that got them TV, smart TVs that's 10 years old, they ain't gonna be able to watch Netflix no more. So I'm gonna tell y'all a quick way to help them out without them having to get rid of their 10-year-old TV and go purchase one of these expensive new TVs. Now, they can go and get a Roku stick or a Fire Stick. And all they gotta do is plug it into that 10-year-old TV, and guess what? They good to go again. Now, I'm gonna tell you why they can't stream, because a lot of people gonna be like, well, I can't use my TV no more to stream Netflix. I've been doing it all this time. Because they're saying the security, the updates and all that stuff is not supported by that old behind TV. That's why. So if y'all don't want to spend no major money upgrading and spending $500 and $1,000 getting better TVs, like I told you, go on and get you a Roku stick or a Fire Stick. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and the same thing with the PS3, same thing. They don't have the Dolby support, the streaming in 4K, all that is not supported with the PS3. It's too old, y'all.
We don't care about no 4K.
March 2nd. So right now, whatever the date is, I don't know right now, but you got a few weeks before you got to upgrade.
You see how they make you
the
upgrade?
TV, go help your grandmas, granddads out, uncles and aunties, nephews. Go help them out, y'all. Nah, the ones with PS3, I'm sorry, we ain't got no Fire Stick or Roku stick to plug in there. You got to upgrade that boy. Go on and get the PS4 or PS5, man. But all the people with the TVs that's 10 years older, man, just go on and get you a Roku stick and a Fire Stick. See, I keep watching your Netflix, man. Y'all already know, man. Big Duke love
Cancel Netflix.
I'm out. Y'all thank me later.
Amazon is building a mass surveillance network, and if you live in the US, you need to know how it works, especially if you or your neighbor has a Ring camera. And even if not, there are over 10 million cameras in the US that are always watching. A few months ago, Amazon signed a deal with Flock, the AI-powered surveillance system that ICE agents use to track their targets. In the next episode, we'll talk about how schools are using Flock to help ICE agents track parents and their kids. But for now, let's talk about the dystopian Super Bowl ad that Amazon just aired. It's almost a laughable attempt at them trying to disguise their surveillance tech. They claim that 10 million dogs go missing every year. So how wonderful would it be if we could harness every Ring camera to automatically find your dog? I don't need to explain the implications, given that they just signed a deal where ICE agents and all of law enforcement has access to those cameras. I'm the founder of Interval News, a platform where we're highlighting the stories that are getting suppressed or outright censored, especially ones like this that billionaire-owned tech companies absolutely do not want you to know about. If you're interested in the mission, hop over to interval.news, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Here's more things that I want to know. I want to know how they built Fort Jefferson 75 miles off the coast of Florida with 16 million bricks in 1860, and it's a star fort. I want to know how far the Cheyenne Mountain Complex tunnels go, and do they connect to every major city in the United States? I want to know the names of every single person that put their hands on the Empire State Building and built it in a year during a New York winter. I also want to know the names of all the people that built the Chrysler Building in a year through a New York winter. I want to know what love is. I want to know why the step pyramids in Mexico look very similar to the step pyramids at Angkor Wat in Cambodia. I want you to show me.
Research has people a little frightened to use it. There's a new study out that says after just one day, chemicals in sunscreens enter your bloodstream.
Before you grab that bottle of sunscreen, the first thing you need to do is check the ingredients on the back.
They are chemicals and they can potentially be dangerous.
Look at any bottle of sunscreen on the store shelf and it'll more than likely have one of these ingredients.
Avobenzone and oxybenzone are very commonly in your chemical sunscreens.
But a new study finds when you apply sunscreen with those chemicals, along with two other ones known as escamsol and octocrylene, they can absorb into your skin and into your bloodstream. More and more people are now using apps like Reveal It to protect themselves against dangerous products.
That's why we saying conspiracy theories aren't theories, they're real life facts, because conspiracy theories been exposed that a long time ago. people were saying this, and to other people they were sounding crazy, but really, who's the crazy ones now? That's all I gotta say for that video. I'm ending it here because I am on a roll with some videos and I want to keep them going, so they're getting juicy is what I'm trying to say. So I'm trying to break them up in increments so that y'all can get some juicy ones every time I drop. Y'all, these are completely up-to-date videos. I'm trying to get videos pushed out. We gotta hit 900K. When I tell you we are close, we're about 3,000 away. We on a grind, so if we gotta upload daily, I just might. Y'all see the earphones is out, so y'all know what that means. The video is over. Truly enjoyed each and every single video. Always learning something. You guys will have to let me know which one was your favorite. I think for right now, the Jim Carrey one is, because I was seeing that all on my feed. I was like, I already know I'm about to come back to some reactions to Jim Carrey. I already know, because y'all not crazy. We're not crazy. If we're all agreeing that this man does not look how he's looked, and we're not talking about age and weight, we're not talking about that. We're saying that this man looks completely different, like as if somebody's out here, like he's cloned or he's wearing a mask. We're not all crazy is what I'm trying to say. So it's just interesting to see how more and more people aren't falling for their little traps and little things that they're doing, because we're catching on. Y'all not playing this game with us is what I'm trying to say. And I love it. Shout out to everyone that sent in videos. If you want your video featured on here along with a shout out, all you have to do is join the Discord. The link is in the description down below. Make sure to go check it out. Drop your favorite conspiracy theories on here so that I can see it and we can react to it, upload it on this big screen. So shout out to all you guys who are joining, and shout out to you guys who have joined. I truly, truly appreciate it. Y'all have been going in with videos. I have videos for centuries. So I just wanted to just thank y'all for that. I do want to say shopperkyy.com. Link is in the description down below. Go copy some merch. For those that are going to be buying, please take a picture and send it my way so I can feature on the website. And if you don't believe me, go to shopperkyy.com and see all the lovely faces on there of everyone that took pictures and submitted it to me, and I was able to post it on the website. So shout out to each and every single one of you. Y'all, we are on the road to 900,000 people. I told y'all we are like 3,000 away. I think we're at 897K at the recording of this video, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to all you guys. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Y'all know I have to give all esteem, all praises, and all honor to our Saba Yahuwah and our Abba, our Adoni, Malek Kabod, Yahushua HaMashiach, because I am a steward of what they rightfully own. I'm a vessel that they work in and through, so I have to give credit and honor where it's due. When y'all see me, y'all see, or y'all should see them. If y'all see a light on me, it should be a light that leads others to the light, which is Yahuwah and Yahushua HaMashiach. And again, that's another one of my favorite videos, was the one that was saying about the name, the J word. There was no J in Hebrew. His name can't be that. The J didn't exist until a certain amount of years ago. So if Yahushua HaMashiach walked this earth so many decades ago with the J letter coming out so many years ago, that couldn't have been his name that our ancestors were calling upon. So that's what that video is breaking down. So that's why when I say Yahuwah and Yahusha, that is who I'm calling on, because that is their true names. The world tried to blot their names out and only got so far. The names are found in books. The names are found in movies. The true names, which again are Yahuwah, which means behold the hand of the nail, and Yahusha, which means Yahuwah is salvation. The names that hold power, the names that have meaning, and the names that have a meaning within the meaning. So I just love it. I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed one, and I will see y'all in the next one. Shalom, shalom.
You can't bring me down. I know who I belong to. Yeah. What? I won't sell my soul. I know my word.